Okay, so we are live this morning at the Walmart on Bruce B. Downs, and I'm going to grab some coffee and I'm going to grab some tax advice. That's right. Jackson Hewitt is out here with their Brew It truck, and they are giving away free coffee, free muffins, and a whole lot of other free stuff, and some free tax advice. Mark Stieber is here with Jackson Hewitt to tell us a little bit more about it. So how you doing? You got your coffee too?
Very exciting time. I'm on my fourth coffee.
Fourth coffee. I'm on my second.
It's tax season.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. This isn't just coffee. This is a coffee drink, right?
Free coffee drink, free tax answers, free answers on how to get your taxes done. So we're talking about a lot of stuff that people might misunderstand at this important time. Bigger refunds, bigger tax law changes than ever, and a lot of valuable stuff to give away and get informed about.
So you don't need to pay for this. So you got the free coffee, and there's a whole menu up here.
Yep.
Free muffins.
Free cold brew. I like it better in this morning.
Right. So, and you're going to be out here all day.
All day and all afternoon.
All day and all afternoon. So just come out here, get some free tax advice.
Bring your questions.
Why is it so important for people to think about their taxes now? We're about midway through the tax season, right? So a lot of people might not be thinking about taxes right now. Why is that important? Why should we not wait to the last minute?
Three reasons. Right now you should have all of your documents, right? So you're not clearly a first mover. You're kind of one of the maybe procrastinators, and you don't want to be those guys. But you also have the value of a bit of more time still available, a couple more weeks left in season. And with all the tax law changes and life changes, new tip deduction, overtime deduction, senior deduction, you might get some questions when you're talking with your pro going, hey, I see you're eligible for the new senior deduction or the tip deduction. You don't want to be at the last hour. And taxes are complicated on any day, but this year, 25, probably the most complicated year I've seen in 40 years. So a little extra time, probably smart. Refunds are bigger than they've ever been. You can watch the news on that. And so it's really an important time. You don't want to be that last minute person.
Right.
And why would you wait to go get money? 100 million people are getting refunds. Refunds are up. Go get your money. Absolutely. And come get some free tax advice and free coffee.
Absolutely. And I know that there are always, some new tax laws out there. Are there any specific that we should be aware of?
Absolutely. This year was one of the banner years for tax law changes. There's a new $25,000 deduction if you have tip income. Think people who make coffee.
Right.
There's a new $12,500 deduction if you have overtime. There's a new $6,000 deduction if you're just senior, 65 or older. If you bought a car, a lot of people bought cars, a new $10,000 interest deduction if you bought a car and financed it. In Florida, we have pretty good property tax rates. There's a new expanded state and local deduction on your federal return, and a whole lot more. Larger standard deduction, larger child credit, and a whole bunch of other things. And that doesn't even talk about if you had a life change, starting a side hustle, trading in crypto. A lot of things to watch for to get that bigger tax refund. Yeah. And that's why we're excited to share free information. We're introducing our promotion of $149 to get your tax return done if you're a new client. A lot of stuff to be excited about right now, but don't wait.
Yeah. Well, everyone likes to talk about taxes. Everyone thinks they know what they're doing. They're an expert, right? So what are some of the biggest myths or misconceptions when it comes to taxes?
There are so many. We could spend 2 days on that. The number one or number two myths that I see is that if I get it kind of right, that'll be okay. I'll do it myself. The IRS will find something and send me more money. No. They don't ever send you more money. You leave off that senior deduction, you leave off the tip deduction, you never see that money. So first of all, you have to be precise, and your pro can help with that. The second thing I often find is that I just won't report this income on my side hustle.
Right.
It's small, it's a hobby. Big mistake. One, it's not correct technically, but two, there are more deductions that may even offset that income, give you a bigger loss, and jumpstart your side hustle. So a tax technical expert can help you understand where all the loopholes are, all the deductions, all the credits, get you a bigger refund, get you that refund fast, and that's not ever a bad thing.
Right.
Take the stress off, and quite honestly, you said mid-time in the season it is, you really ought to be thinking about 2026 now. We're already into March.
Right.
And there's so many things to watch out for that can put more money in your pocket, make you less stressed, and jumpstart your life. And so that's why it's so important. I'll finish with this. 100 million Americans get $300 to $400 billion in refunds every year, including this year. Why would you wait to get that money?
Yeah, absolutely. And so tell me about, a lot of people think they can do it themselves. They have one job, they think it's simple. Why would it be important to work with a professional?
Well, for two reasons, really. One, it's often stressful. Those people are doing it themselves. They're knuckle biters and they're hating it. So pay someone. As we said, $149 as a starter point, that's easy, and that's a maximum. Secondly, and more importantly, you overlook one deduction, the senior deduction, for example. Click the button wrong, don't answer it right, $6,000 deduction if you're single, $12,000 gone. If you're in a 30% tax bracket, that's $4,000. More than $149 is what you pay. So you only need one mistake and you forfeited whatever it would have cost to have the tax pro. Second or third reason, a tax pro can tell you how to be organized. You don't need an elaborate plan, but you do need the shoebox or the envelope just to make things easier for you or your pro. And that's just simple advice. There's more elaborate advice on retirement plans, education plans, life plans, retirement plans, and other things that you can take into account and cut your tax bill and get a bigger refund. You either do the work and go read all that stuff, oh my goodness, or get someone to help you.
Yeah, and if you don't know whether you need a tax professional or not, a good idea would be to come out here today.
Yep.
Right, you're here until about 5,
Yep,
I
5
believe.
o'clock, yep.
Get some free coffee, and you know what? It's iced coffee or regular coffee, but the sun is beating down, right?
It is.
I'm sure glad
Sunny in
it's
Florida.
a cold brew, right?
Yep, absolutely, and it's my favorite. The gold cold brew with the sprinkles
It's
cools
pretty
you off,
good.
and they're quite yummy. But
I gotta
to your
say.
point, I will simply say, yeah, if you think it's so simple, come down and tell it. We'll tell you if it's simple,
Right.
and then we'll tell you it's $49 or whatever the price is. But
Right.
odds are, well, my taxes are simple, but I have a side hustle, and I'm kind of trading crypto,
Right.
and I'm taking care of my dependent parents, and I
Yeah.
changed jobs. Oh, and I'm thinking about getting married. Is that simple? Yeah, no.
No. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for the coffee.
Thank you.
All right, and if you want to find out more information, you can check out their website at jacksonhewitt.com. And just a reminder, come on down here to the Brewitt Coffee Truck right here on Bruce B. Downs.